Alright. Before y'all get up screaming at y'all screens that this is a video game and it's not a movie, you are wrong. This is playable cinema. So I shall count it as such as a movie. And without further ado, welcome to Nell Cinema. So somehow, someway, I was able to go an entire year without getting the plot of the first Spider-Man game spoiled for me. And with this in mind, this is a game that I really want people to play and I really want them to enjoy it on their own time. So I will be letting you guys know that the first half of this video will be no spoilers whatsoever. I'll try my best to give a review without giving any spoilers whatsoever. And in the second half of the video, it's going to be nothing but spoilers because I have to go over my thesis. There will be a time code in the link in the description. It should show up on the little bar of the video to let you know which section that you are in. The Spider-Man PS4 game is quite possibly one of the greatest Spider-Man movies of all time, as stated by numerous fellows, and I personally agree to the umpteenth degree. That story was able to make you feel so many different things that other Spider-Man materials such as the Marvel movies or the Amazing series and even Raimi's trilogy were not able to make you feel in such a condensed amount of time. It was able to make you feel for every single character. Peter's choices had true consequences and the stakes were high throughout the entire game. And this Miles Morales game, this is a challenge and it finds a way to up the ante, if you will. The story decides to show how heart determines character with revolving themes of family and redemption. More on that later. The game puts you directly in the shoes of Miles by showing a juxtaposition between the way that he and Peter swings. It is a huge difference between the way that Peter swings and the way that Miles swings. Peter swings elegantly through the air and usually doesn't waste any movements whatsoever when soaring through the sky, and his tricks are much more reserved. Miles, on the other hand, as the game developers say, has exaggerated black teen swag. I don't know who the fuck came up with that, but they need their ass whooped. Anywho, or some other stupid shit. But anywho, he's much flashier and moves around as if he's having fun, and it feels more fun to swing as Miles as it feels more elegant to swing with Peter. You can also see the difference in how they land. Miles has a tendency to fall backwards, and if you don't catch him when he's in mid-trick, he will smack his back on the pavement, and it looks like it hurts a lot, and it's like he's not used to it. But Peter in no way, shape, or form ever smacks the pavement. He always does a superhero landing as if he's been doing this for years, which he has. And you can feel this immense difference between them. This is the warning for spoilers. If you do not want the game to be spoiled for you, please click off the video, finish the game, make sure you're able to ingest it the way that you need to, and then you can come back to my review. Now, if you're one of the souls who've already finished the game or you just don't give a fuck, then you are free to continue. So I'm gonna try my best to spark note the plot. It starts off with Miles happy as shit, then rendezvousing with Peter to escort the raft inmates to prison. They break out and they have to fight Rhino. Miles finds out he has a new venom power and beats the brakes off Rhino. Peter goes away on vacation, so Miles becomes the full-time New York Spidey. One of his old friends comes back and it turns out that she's the Tinkerer and she got beef with Simon, who is trying to run an unethical business that did just so happen to kill her brother and may kill millions of more. A few punches and kicks later, Miles resolves the issue from a self-sacrifice from Finn, and her sacrifice brings up one of the biggest motifs in the story: redemption. Once she has gone far in the plan and realizes that people will die because of her, she sacrifices herself for the greater good. She's not the only character to do that in the story. Prowler is also in the story, and I was ready for my heart to get ripped out by him given how the Into the Spider-Verse movie turned out. And I wasn't disappointed in his accidental heel turn. he was only trying to protect his nephew, and we see at the end that he not only redeemed himself by saving people during the final battle, but also by turning in Simon, by turning in himself as well. So he does have to spend jail time for his actions that he has committed in the past. He goes on in his own arc in the tape side mission, which I did right before the end of the main story, and it's one of the best missions. It's just fun as hell, just like every other part of this game. Sorry for the tangent. It explains how he fell out with his brother and how Aaron wants Miles to be better than both of them. This leads the game into its overall idea of family. This is why I said that it is the most soulful Spider-Man movie out of the bunch, and it has more heart than any other Spidey flick. It stresses the values of camaraderie, love, and doing the right thing. And it all comes to a head with Miles becoming Harlem's Spidey. They crown him as such and accept him as their own after seeing him sacrifice so much for them. And for this reason, I feel as though this is without a doubt the most heartfelt Spider-Man movie. Not only does the story make you resonate with all of the characters on a deeper level, but it makes you feel like them. Now, this story nor game is as elegant and perfect as the PlayStation 4 Spider-Man game, because in my heart of hearts, I know that that still is the most perfect Spider-Man story. But the Miles Morales story wasn't seeking perfection. It instead was seeking a heartfelt story that we could all relate to, even if we're not flinging webs all over New York City. This is the one that differentiates itself by the heart that it shows, and making you feel like a kid that is suiting up as the Spider for the first time ever. And one last thing, it took all of me not to cry while we were doing the final mission. It was looking around the city for happy birthday tapes from Miles, from his father, who, if you didn't play the PlayStation 4 Spidey game, is currently deceased. It almost brought a tear to my eye, the amount of detail that they put into this. They really wanted to make you feel like the web slinger, from his ups to his downs, from his emotional successes to his emotional failures. And this is really one of the most heartfelt pieces, movies, video games that I've ever been encountered with. Another way that this Spider-Man movie was really able to distinguish itself from the others is portraying Miles Morales the same way how we are used to seeing a 16-year-old Peter Parker. Lost, confused, in a world by himself, just trying to do the right thing. And here, Miles basically gives us his all. And we are in his shoes for the entirety of the game. We feel how he feels through the emotions that he goes through, from the decisions that he makes, and all the turmoil that comes from these decisions. Everything that he does comes from a place of true love, a place of optimism, a place where he thinks the best of every single person that he encounters. And it makes us feel the same exact way for everyone in the story. Characters like Finn, characters like Prowler, characters like his mother, characters like Genki. Characters such as this are the reason why this story is able to work so well together. And even the side missions don't feel like side missions. They feel like they're a part of the main plot.
Hey, you enjoyed the video? If you did, then you should leave a like, maybe even a comment, and definitely punch this button right here to subscribe. Yeah, but don't go nowhere too quick now, because right here and right here, it's going to be 2 videos. 2 of my previous ones. They're going to be just as good, if not even better than what you just saw. Have a good one.